Got to say hi. How are you? Yep. Good to see you. Good to see you. You all right? As I know, unless somebody tells me different.
We'll call the meeting to order. Yeah, I didn't bring my hammer. Mr. McCall or Cade, would you lead us in a pledge and a prayer, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Has everybody had a chance to look at the previous meeting minutes? I think those were emailed out earlier today. If so, I'd take a motion.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Do we have a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Superintendent's report.
All right, so for the report, we had a really successful 4th of July. Everybody worked extremely hard. We have some stuff that we're going to go over in the safety briefing. I'm going to try and get most of my grounds crew out there, at least the ones that spent most of the day out there, to go to this last safety briefing. And there we'll discuss like things that we can change for the future. And I'd like to bring basically like a briefing to the next board meeting as well, to have stuff that I'd like to do better in the future and have improved upon. We had a good amount of people work some really long shifts, including myself, but I was happy to be there and watch those fireworks go off at the end. It was a rainy day, really, really rainy. I was covered in mud by the end of it. But the fireworks show at the end was pretty awesome. One thing that I would like to add now that I'll change in the future, definitely need more manpower the day of. So especially when it starts to get to nighttime, because there was just some things that were falling by the wayside just because we didn't have enough people to like actually do what all we needed to do. We managed, don't get me wrong. It was still a safe and good event, but that's one thing I'd love to improve next time. So myself and the grounds crew, mostly the grounds crew, cleaned up the park afterwards. I think they've done a pretty great job. They were pretty quick with it. We got all the cones back to the highway department. So we hosted a good 4-H fair. I was a little worried because people said it would be very busy and chaotic, and it was, but it ended up going off without a hitch. There was a couple hiccups for sure, but not anything too crazy except for this one I'm about to bring up. During the 4-H fair, literally all of our air conditioners went down like a day or two in at the Smith building. I was able to fix one of them myself, and the others were able to be fixed by MRS Heating and Cooling. 3 of these issues could have been fixed if we, or 3 of these issues with the air conditioners could have been fixed with preventative maintenance, because honestly, all I had to do to fix the one that I did, the vents were like covered in like gunk and muck, and I just sprayed it off, and it worked fine. So that's something that was a knowledge gap on my end, and I'll make sure to put it on like the monthly things to do, because that's what he recommended me do as well, like clean that off monthly at the least. So I wanted to add on here too, Richard Sidwell. He's one of the Rangers I hired on when I got here. He volunteered and did a deep clean of our Big 4 memorial, and he did it on his off hours too. I even offered to like let him be on the clock for it, and he refused, and he said that he wanted to do this for the love of the game. He has a grandfather that's on the Big 4 memorial. So I just wanted to give him a shout out. It was very kind of him to go out there and clean that up, and he refused to take pay or anything for it. He's a really good dude. The grounds crew finished one of the pickleball courts. I think it looks really, really good. The only thing is it is pretty expensive to fix these things, especially when like I just think that it's good that we got one done this year. I think we'll try to do one a year, renovating and updating it. But it looks very good, and they did a pretty good job on that. The grounds crew, and I think that today they actually finished leveling out the stones. If you know where the stone steps are next to the big shelter house, they were really slanted. In the winter, you could basically use them like a slide. They have been leveled out, and they're going to put a railway there so people can hold on to it as they go down as well. But I'm really excited for that one. That's something that we had been talking about for a while, and they just went out and did it, and they did a pretty good job at that. So Andy has started paving the roads at the park, mostly patching up some of the more problematic potholes, especially like that area past the big shelter house that goes back to the north side of the park. That area has been not so great for a while. He's just been slowly patching it up. Also, the like square around the big shelter house. There's also the new shelter house the new shelter that was put in. There were some pretty big holes in that area, and we got those patched as well. Speaking of which, Sanders Shelter, the new shelter that was put in, was finished and looks amazing. Jim is wanting to make a couple changes. So, and we're also looking at taking a dead tree in the area down when possible. I've kind of been putting it off until after the 4-H fair stuff has been going on, but we're going to get a lift and do a couple different things around the park that needs to be done. And that's probably the biggest thing that we want to get done, but there's also there are lights in front of the Smith building that shine on the flags out there that we've needed to fix for a little bit now. We're getting those fixed as soon as possible, but we do need the lift for that as well. So I'm going to do it all on the same day and try and get as much use out of that as possible. So renovations to the show arena have been done. There's the my apologies. There's a stuff on the roof. Tom, do you know the name for it? I can't remember.
Spray foam.
The spray foam on the roof, and that helps with a lot of the cooling for the show arena as well. They also were supposed to add on a portion of the roof where like basically air could filter out. Yes. But I've been supervising when possible with the disc golf crew, mostly just Chris, in all honesty, cutting the new paths for the ones that they moved out of the more sensitive areas in the woods. So 2 and 18, no, wait, not 18, sorry. But yeah, kind of 18. So 2 mostly that we've cut into, but.
Question before you move on. Renovations on the show arena.
Yeah.
Is there still more work to be done? I know they only had about a week and a half, 2 weeks last time we were in here.
Yeah, they still have some bathroom work to do.
Mhm.
Some things didn't come in. The roof vent didn't show up on time, so they still have to do that. And a couple of just little things,
I'm
but
gonna
there's
say,
nothing you can really see.
I think that there's a couple different things that they wanted to still work on. I think I'm just kind of waiting on Jim to bring it to me though. So what he's wanting to do and see what we can do. So.
And I'll point out in Cade's report, the pothole repairs that they've been doing, that has been coming from the ARP funding, which is dwindling down to nothing. We've been trying to hold on to part of that to do the potholes. We did quite a bit of paving last year. What did we spend last year? Do you remember?
No, off the top of my head.
It was it 17,000 on?
Yeah, it was.
On, or more than that.
Mhm.
Milling out some of the worst places, and we did a lot of milling last year. So there's maybe, I think there was $3,200 of that left as of about a week ago. We'll spend it all by the end of the year or lose it. Government just takes it
Yeah.
back if we don't get it spent.
He's gotten good mileage out of it too. Like he's basically all that road. He said that he should be able to get all of that road with the amount that we have left. So, which is pretty awesome. I know it's just filling the potholes. So
Yeah, that's all,
I mean,
that's pretty much all we can do for now.
yeah,
And
that's all we can.
the park employees have gotten several loads of patching material from the county highway, which they sell to us at cost, which helps a little bit.
Mhm.
And we'll have to do some more of that. That'll be an ongoing process if and until we come up with a plan to actually resurface the roads.
And this is AB seal coating that's doing it.
Yeah, sorry. I just said Andy. That's not
Sorry.
the most official for it, but
For the record.
for the record.
Okay.
I kind of split this up, but I'm just going to talk about everything that I've done with the aerators recently. So I had one of the sheriff's department offered Joe Young to come out, and he's a diver, and he's kind of starting the diving team for the sheriff's department. And he came out and his brother came out and dived and put the rest of the decoy ducks on the aerators. The reason that we do that is because it'll be easier to find them if they, for some reason, malfunction. We need to repair them or just to clean them off too. So we also got new filters for the air, the actual air compressors as well. So we don't have them yet, I guess I should say, but they're on the way. So
And we've talked about adding more.
maybe that, I guess maybe that was after the last meeting. They're all in. So we're looking for maybe a shallow water fountain for the bottom one, and the fountain that we had previously. We're going to try to put it in Maurice Goodwin, and the Saddle, because we don't have power out there, but the Saddle Club has offered to actually let us use their electrical hookup out there. So, which was very kind of them. Grounds crew moved one of the storage sheds that were just sitting out there on the soccer field, kind of laying dormant and empty, and put it next to the Smith building. It's kind of close to the well house. So we're just putting our storage for like stuff that is for the pond. So we have the oars in there, life jacket in there, just anything that we need to grab before we go out on the water. It's locked up. So, but yeah, no, I think that'll be a good addition. I think it looks good there too. So we're looking into getting the well in the well house repaired. We'll see if I have to do more looking into it. I got somebody to come out and give me a quote, and they said that is above their pay grade. So we'll see. They did recommend somebody, and they apparently had worked on it before. I had known the people who worked on it previously, but they were the people who had worked on it previously, and they said that they had came out and given a quote a couple times. I think he's supposed to be out there next week to see what could be the issue. There's a couple already that the last people were able to tell me about it, but they just said that they wouldn't have the equipment to deal with the issue. So the highway department donated some riffraff, and we used it to fill areas of the pond that still needed riffraff refilled, basically. Also very kind of them as well. Does anybody have any questions about the secretary's report? I mean, not the secretary, the superintendent's.
I don't have anything.
So
I think Liz had some things here. Most of it is really simple things. Like they set up a PayGov system to Cade and Emily's computers so they can process credit cards when they come in. I think she had a meeting with Sheldon to work on light or the plaques for the light poles. And she reports that income for June from rentals and vendors was $3,280. So that's been put in our account. Has anybody had a chance to look at these, or everybody or nobody? Who looked at the claims, or do you have the claim sheet? I looked through those. I don't have any questions. Yeah, I did. We'll sign them afterwards. We'll sign them afterwards. I can sign them afterwards. Okay.
I'll look while you're off talk.
Yeah, you can do that. Reports from our groups, Veterans Museum.
Hi, my name is Connie Greenbridge. If you don't know me, I'm the president of the Veterans Museum. We had a 250 event on June the 20th, and we were so excited because it was really good. DAR was with us. both from Henry County, the one in Nicetown along, the Friends and the, we had the couple of the American Legions, the Newcastle and in Middletown help with that. And everything has worked really good and we're really pleased. Our upcoming annual meeting is August the 13th, starts at 5 o'clock. We'll eat closer to 5:30. We had a car show from TSC this coming year, and that was really good. The ones that went there really enjoyed it. So that's all that I have actually for the events. I would just like to that if you've not been to the museum or you haven't been there in a while, please come back. Okay? And I'm sorry I gotta go because I got a daughter at home, she's not feeling good. I don't want to leave her that long. So thank you.
A quick question on the you can go ahead and go. It's more about the ham operators that used your space. I'm just curious. I know that was over the course of the last month that we had that.
It was good.
Oh, there's.
Yeah, they're coming once at the end of the month and the meeting Tuesday of the month.
Okay. It was pretty impressive to drive by there and see the lift with antennas up in the air and, yeah, and had it, I know they had the drive going up.
It was actually more fun to see it, take it halfway down and wrestle with it.
Well, I worked overnight. I worked radio for about 6 hours overnight, so I didn't have to tear them.
I'm just curious if there's any feedback from it. I know I walked in there at one point in time on Saturday and there were a couple folks in there and they were talking about listening, around the world kind of thing. But, as far as for the group, if there was any substantial events.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
but Again, I was just there I jumped on the radio at 11:30 at night and until about 4:30.
Any chatter out there,
Oh, yeah.
middle of the
I
night?
was talking to-
Who were you talking to? Where at?
I think I was on the beam on the lift, so I was hitting Western Washington. I got LAX, which is LA, at about 4 o'clock in the morning, when the band started changing. Watson to South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia. I did a lot of states.
Nothing international during your time?
I didn't, but we did.
Okay. That's neat. I just thought it was worth highlighting.
I had 2 or 3 Canadian companies.
Okay. Well, it was worth highlighting that. That's pretty neat. For those of us that don't do it regularly.
I think I have access to maybe 1 or 2 towers. And I'm going to talk to Kate about it, talk to you about it. We'll bring it up in a meeting. I'll talk to the operators and maybe put towers up and we can get the dipoles up permanently.
Neat. Thank you.
Can we jump back to the French for a second?
Oh, okay, sure.
The next project that we're gonna be hitting hard now is the 88 here. The Sheldon's project with the walkway lights is complete.
Mhm.
Got some odds and ends there on the walkway path to work on, some parking lot striping. You got that? Yeah, I got it. So our fundraising for the 88th year is gonna warm up here a little bit.
Do you have any at all so far?
Ball Foundation gave us $5,000 seed money.
Good.
The initial bid this spring was a little over 18,000. And we'll need to do a little concrete pad work for the approach. So $20,000 would probably do it.
For what size do you finally come up with looking at?
Whatever I need here on there.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. If we do exceed, fundraising expectations, we can always make it bigger.
Well, and we can, those are modular. We can make them bigger in the future too. If we find that it gets a lot of people out there, we can add a couple more sections maybe. And maybe that's the way to get it done. If we keep track of the usage and show that it is getting used, we'll bump it out a little bit. Do you have anything else, Tony?
Well, I did get the opportunity to attend the 50th anniversary EAR program. It was great. And I did find out that I have a Revolutionary War hero in my family line. Who's that? I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't know that until I went there, and I thought, hey, that's a name that's familiar.
And what is that name? Who is it?
Jacob Hauser. My great-great-grandpa was Jacob Hauser from the Blountsville area. And I knew the years didn't jive up. And so after the presentation, I drove out to the Buck Creek Brethren Church Cemetery, and I looked and the years didn't jive up. So then it needed me to go back to look further in my family that I've never really looked for. Jacob didn't have 2 generations before that. It would have been that Jacob Hauser's grandpa was also named Jacob Hauser. There was no notation in there that he was an American Revolutionary War hero, but his dad was. So I need to get with the EAR people to find out what kind of documentation they have for the father son.
Well, looks
That's
like,
pretty cool to find that out this year.
looks like everybody should go out to the park and read the memorials and see if they have any relatives they don't know about.
They had a list of 39 Henry County Revolutionary War heroes who lived in Henry County when they passed.
Do you have anything, Sheldon, or? Okay.
Speak to the group over here. We got our pond lighting project complete. All the bills are paid. We've ordered an extra remote control. The lights can be controlled remotely. Because you know how it is, if you have one, you're probably gonna lose it. So we're gonna do that. I'm ordering or going to be ordering plaques to put on the poles for people that sponsor the poles. It could be pretty simple, but there'll be the family name or whatever they wanted to say. And so that project, just to kind of bring you up to date, ended up generating about $76,000 from public, just the people here in Henry County. Specifically, I'd like to let you know, the Henry County Community Foundation, the Henry County Hospital Foundation, Henry County RMC, Duke Energy, and of course the poll sponsors, which are individuals, and a few other people that just donated online. So I guess the point I'd like to make, if you have a project that people will back and think it's important, they'll give you the money. I'm sure we can get the money for Tony. That shouldn't be too hard. Also I'd like to recognize Dave Detmer, who is the lighting
Thanks, Sheldon. Anybody have anything to say about the 4-H and the expo? I think all the 4-H people are probably sitting at home licking their wounds after. Rips. Anybody have anything to add to that? Helen? Bet you do.
Yeah, so this is a busy season for HC Rips, but all of them are busy season for HC Rips. Monarch Meadow is looking good. We've had a lot of work done on it by our intern there, Swat. She really taken that to heart, and she removed 5 bags, big trash bags full of invasive grasses. And we're reseeding with seeds that we gather from my own prairies that I have at home. It's looking pretty good. And, yeah, we're happy with the Monarch Meadow. I just was out there kind of cleaning up our sign, got dirty. Duck Island is a surprise. Duck Island's looking pretty good. We're happy. We've got black-eyed Susans blooming there and bee balm, and actually we've got some smooth blaster, swamp milkweed, which is one we really wanted, because that's what the monarch butterfly needs, like eggs. It's really pretty flower. I don't know why they call it swamp milkweed. We still need to get specifically sedges there to help keep the weeds down, and I'm not seeing those yet. So Patty promises me they're probably still there. And maybe we just need to wait longer, but the other thing we came up with, so we tried the duck fence, because the ducks and the geese just pull the vegetation out by the roots, and the goose fence just didn't work. And they were up there nesting and egging and everything, and it seemed expensive to tear it out and try a whole nother goose. We do have good vegetation on the top. So what Kate and I came up with was, why don't we just put a chicken wire fence over a small area to let it get established? Because these plants have really deep roots. If you just give them a couple of years, then the geese can't pull them out anymore. So we are gonna put, we kind of picked 2 spots. One was completely bare and from the geese. And so we'll add new seeds, we'll put a fence up, and they're green, so they're not really unsightly. We'll see what happens. And then the other place, we actually have some really good plants grow. So we're gonna fence that off so those plants can make seeds and get established. So it's an experiment in motion, but so far it's actually looking pretty good in my opinion. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it looks better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Just curious, do the geese tend to stay away from the areas that have already started to get some vegetation?
Yes.
They
once
go
you
to
get
the
thick
least path of
vegetation,
travel?
Right,
Okay.
they don't like it, they're gonna stretch. Oh, and Patty is getting us a really cool wetland plant, it's called pickerel weed. None of them have good names. It's a really pretty purple flower.
It is, yeah.
That can go right at the water's edge, and SWAT's going to plant those at the water's edge, and from our reading, geese don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
So cross your fingers on that. Did you have something else for us too? Yeah. Okay, see, she has all these things, but she works at Spence Nursery. So happy with Duck Island, our butterfly gardens looking good right outside the office. Pleased with that. Not pleased with Maurice Goodwin Pond. As I drove by and from the road, I could see you have the beginning of purple loose. And everybody in this room has thought purple loose.
No, yeah.
That's a really bad thing to happen. It's only a small area, like, I don't know, 6 by 8 feet. I've actually never fought personally purple loose stripe before, but I know the people who have, and I know how to read. It's flowering now, so we need to catch it before it goes to seed. So,
Where is it, in the west end, close to the road?
east end, yeah, close to the road and closer to the Saddle Club.
Okay.
And it's a big purple flower.
Oh, yeah.
It's really pretty, unfortunately, but we don't want it because it could just. Your pond, they go from one pond to the other and.
Mhm.
So we're gonna do something about that. Should I talk now about disc golf or should I sit down and see if you guys want to hear from me later? Your call.
Yeah, I guess you can, if you've got something new to add.
I have spent some time with Chris and he has a great passion for disc golf. And I have an equally great passion for the woods. And those two passions have been buttoned heads. And, you know, we came to the last meeting, we both gave our opinions and things are happening. And I think what we need is a different setting. I think Chris with his passion for disc golf and his knowledge of disc golf needs to meet me with my passion for the woods and my knowledge. And we need to talk about how disc golf can be best for Memorial Park, hurt the woods the least, make the best experience for the disc golfers. I have hopes if we get outside of this meeting room, maybe have Kay there as a go-between so we don't freak each other out. I think Chris is stronger than I, but I think we could make progress and come up with something that the park could be proud of. I know we commissioned Kevin Thomasvik, and he's here today, to do a map to show the highest quality areas. He's got.
Yeah, I think we all have the
I don't
report.
think you have
don't we?
this.
No, not this.
We don't
one.
want
So
this.
what I did with this was Kevin's map, and I was confused. Here's the Smith Building, here's the
Mhm.
seat. Putting the two maps together.
Mhm.
So I took my magic marker and I drew whole, unfortunately, I did it before he changed the numbers.
Yeah,
So
I actually, you
15,
can show this to them because I actually did it myself.
okay, I got more of them. Marcia gave them to me.
Yeah.
So we've got 4, 5, and then 7, 8, what, I can't read it there, but you can read it. I had to put the holes right on the high quality woods. Here, does somebody want to pass some maps around? I'll keep one for myself.
Does Chris have one?
Yep. I have
Okay.
it. Is it the same map as this thing? Simply.
Yeah, I just put the holes on it so
Yep, I
people
got
can
it.
understand. So the whole big North Woods, that big blue blob is an intact forest, even if you only take out of the middle 3 acres of it. I think it's a problem, but is it all the same problem? I would say for sure, the biggest problem is I'm not sure that it can be remediated. We're concerned about erosion, soil compaction, which we're already getting, you can see it, you walk it, and vegetation loss. And these woods have incredible.
These are the
brown
old numbers.
vegetation. When you look at the woods, you might only have 20 species of trees giving you diversity, but the ground layer does. And that's where your diversity comes from, and everything on those ground layers is what supports the light. The fireflies, the dragonflies, the butterflies, the birds, everything that people enjoy when they come to the nature of the park. I would hope we could find a way to take out what was goal 4 is goal 5. You can put up signs, you can put up springs. It's just such a rich floral area and so special. I would ask to just see if there's a way we can redesign the course and take out what was 4, what is now 5.
Yeah.
My next priority would be what was 5 and is now 6. With that creek, and you might call it a drainage ditch, but that is flowing water that brings life to your woods. It's for the dragonflies and damselflies, the butterflies who need the moisture to live. Those are the 2 most problematic holes. But whatever we do, if we're putting up fences, if we're putting up signs, if we're making a path so you can get from one place to another, it helps to have somebody working there who can name every plant in the woods and knows the ecological value of each plant. No, that plant supports an important butterfly. I have that knowledge. I have people I work with who have that knowledge. I would like to work with Chris. Give us a month. Hopefully we won't kill each other. And we could work together. I've got examples. I've heard from so many. Marcia, get the other side. You can't get in. That's gonna be a tough one. I've
Not gonna get
heard
in.
From multiple golf courses, disc golf courses, that had to close down wooded areas because of damage to the woods. One in Crown Point, one in Avon, Indiana, one in Ohio. We'd rather look at the problems before they happen, and we predict some of them might happen. Avon, I had a friend who called them, and they did have an 18-acre or an 18-hole disc golf course that the park board chose to close down 9 of the 18 holes that were in the woods because of the damaged woods. Then I'll keep one around. There are 9 holes. This is an example. So my friend actually called the lady working in the park and yesterday took these pictures. Their current holes are out in the sun. They can get the shade of trees. They have meadows like our Monarch Meadow along them. They're beautiful. People enjoy them. My backside, which didn't get copied, is also from Avon. Here's where their wooded course was with blockage and a sign that says, area off limits to all foot traffic, please even dog walking, reforestation, forest floor recovery and process, dangerous conditions exist, falling limbs, exposed roots. I only have one copy of this one. It has me concerned. What I would love to have happen is for Chris and I to work together. I've got a pretty good group. I've got HC Rips. We would like to donate money to help disc golf finish their course and pull the holes, whatever we come up with, ideally at least 4 or 5. Pull some holes out of the sensitive woods, put them into the grassy areas that have big trees, where they're away from the mosquitoes and poison ivy, and they can have their disc golf course. We could help landscape, we could give them money to help move their course. We could help them with manpower. That's something else my group's really good at, especially on his hole 2. He's got a lot of dang honeysuckle removal. He also has Oriental bittersweet, autumn olive. I didn't see multiflora rose, but I won't be surprised. And again, we can work with him on that. And we're really good at that, and we can help. And I am also somewhat of a storyteller. Anybody's been on my Facebook page. And I would like to tell the story of us working together. The park board, HC Riffs, the disc golf community, and work together to figure out a course that can make all of us proud, that can be beautiful, and maybe the most eco-friendly course in Indiana. I mean, we could make a name for ourselves. I would be proud of that. I think you would be proud of that. I would hope you would be proud. So I did ask Kevin Tumbesvik, who is the top ecologist in Indiana. This guy knows more than anybody put together, to come so that he could talk a bit about the ecologic study he did and answer any questions. So Kevin, you want to talk?
Thank you, Helen. Just a little bit of background about myself. I grew up here in East Central Indiana in Anderson and still live in that area. I was a founding board member of the Red Tail Conservancy and first stewardship chairman of the Red Tail Conservancy. So I have a long history with land trusts and land preservation. My current job with Ecologic It's a company centered in Bloomington, but I work for my home in Anderson. I am the senior ecologist, and I mostly work with park districts. We have a big contract with Indy Parks, so I do all the invasive plant mapping and ecological studies for Indy Parks. Our company is subcontracted by landscape architecture firms that are doing master planning for parks. So you may have heard of the new Carpenter Nature Preserve in Zionsville. That was the old Wolf Run golf course up there. I did all the baseline ecological studies on that project as well, and also helped with a revision of the master planning for both Brownsburg Parks and Avon Parks. And part of that one with Avon Parks was closing that damaging part of the disc golf course in one of their parks. So I saw that damage firsthand and mapped it and wrote a recovery plan for that disc golf course. So I'm very familiar with this all of central Indiana, the plant communities here, and what we can do to restore and maintain those plant communities. So going to Memorial Park, I have been to Memorial Park all my life. I would like to apologize. As a child, I fed the feral waterfowl there, and so sorry for that.
So you're the
But,
one.
but I'm embarrassed to admit
When you did your walkthrough through the park, did you identify any species that were protected?
there are no like federally endangered species or anything to that matter. There are very conservative plant species, and if you looked at the report, I added something called the Forest Equality Index, and anything that's an 8 or so, or even a 7 or higher, is something that you don't find in an average woods around here. And there are a number of those plants, everything from hepatica to horsebalm to golden seal. So there are a number of plants there. If Ben, I would call a rare community. That is a community that used to be very prevalent along the Blue River Valley, but most of all of them have been drained or filled or tiled for agricultural use. So there's not very many of them left. But just the overall quality of the woods is what makes it outstanding. And the fact that it's habitat for declining songbirds like wood thrushes and things like that have this wonderful flute-like song in the spring. It really makes it a super special place. But and then there's little groundwater fed wetlands throughout the northern woods too. The harbor skunk cabbage And those are important breeding sites for dragonflies. Some of them, you may very well have some fairly rare dragonflies here. It's hard to survey for them because they're only flight during certain seasons, but there are rare dragonflies at Mountain State Park in the pen there and in other seats in East Central Indiana. And it's possible they could be associated with the groundwater seats or the park as well.
I know Kate and I have seen some dragonflies out there that we hadn't seen before, haven't we? So there are some that you don't see other places for
Yeah,
sure.
there's a very large one, the Latin name is called great petal tail. And that one breeds in those shady seats, and I've seen it at Mounds Park. It's very large and it perches on tree trunks. It has
Yep.
clear wings and a very long, dark gray to blackish body. So that's one that would be probably down. That is a state listed species, state threatened, I think.
Did you see adequate area to potentially move some of these courses that would be into areas that would be less impacted?
I know because I only surveyed the natural areas, I didn't do a lot of exploration of the lawn areas to see what what's possible out there, but it seems like there's still a lot of lawn area under trees that I think would be suitable for moving a few of the most sensitive holes, particularly 5 and 6. 5 is really problematic because it goes down a pretty steep hill and it's impacted right by a stream. And 6, it also follows that ephemeral stream is what we call those water courses that only flow in spring. And those are the most problematic from a potential erosion standpoint. And I would note that Frisbee Golf Course that was closed in Avon, there were trails that went down pretty steep slopes there, and they had gullies in them about that deep from the erosion from the foot traffic. So that's why they closed that. Or closed those holes.
Rita, did you have any questions? Comments?
No, I thought it was well written
No
report.
comments.
We appreciate it very much so. And your expertise in taking the time to come today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
State Park's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that place.
I ran cross-country and track at Anderson and
I ran cross country at Highland. We may have run against. one.
we ran Mound State Park all the time on those wood chip trails.
Yeah.
Know that
Like
park
5
well.
miles from there. It's just that, kayaking White River on that area all the time.
Very much. Beautiful area. Thank you.
Well, we're not going to have everybody talk tonight, but go ahead.
So, I'm John Van, and I'm a member of She Rips. I'm also, live in Springport. My wife and I have, really a beautiful couple.
I think he already also said that that was kind of inopportune. It was kind of like also taking out like a invasive species, and I'm not saying that it won't affect it, but he doesn't intend on that getting way smaller of a path.
Wait a minute. We've had these presentations. We know everybody's passions here. We do. We appreciate everybody's passions. We could continue these on and on. We could have tonight's meeting and there'd be another group. We're trying to come to some conclusion as to what direction we're going in. And I would ask the question of all the Kevin and Chris and Helen, can you work together? Can you make this work?
I mean this with all due respect. He's gone to Facebook to slander myself personally.
No, I know.
That's where I can't do this anymore. It's related to money because of XYZ reasons. Personal attacks against myself, I can't let that continue. So that's why I'm willing to work like the Red Tail type people or whoever else. I just can't let this continue in the way of just, we're going to Facebook to slander things, whatever. That's where a lot of this fear mongering is coming from. So that's where I'm just.
Well, if we gave it a time frame and we said, look, you have to get together and we're going to continue with this thing the way it is in 2 weeks or not. can you get together and work at trying to make effective changes that work for everybody?
Don't think so.
Could I, haven't you already compromised?
There has been compromise. I think there's been a compromise and understanding on both extremes.
Can I make a comment real quick? That's okay?
Sure.
So no matter how the vote goes, for both of you guys, I really want you guys to work together in the future anyways. If I need to be there for mediation each and every time, I'm okay with that. Now I'm a person. Sometimes I'm out of town. I can't be there all the time. So if we need to like push meetings and stuff like that, but I understand that this is a contentious topic, but at the end of the day, at least the way I see it is these are all volunteer groups that are out at my park, and I want them to be able to work together, you know? So please bear with each other. I know everybody's passionate about these things, very passionate. I know things have already been pushed off, and there's a lot of anger and stuff, but yeah, again, no matter how vote goes, no matter which way it goes, I need you guys to be able to come back and work together if you are going to be working out of the park. So please, thank you.
You ready to say something?
I just.
Any folks funny that you've like just defamed everybody that's like this?
Hey, let's not, Helen, please. Chris,
I have a question.
okay.
Is hole 5 on an existing trail? Is that the suspension?
The suspension bridges
To the
west
east
of
the
that
suspension bridge.
Yeah.
They're supposed to use the suspension bridge to
to get to
cross
the other side.
the creek. Does that help you? So over the last few months, well, shoot, over the last few years, but really concentrated over the last few months, I think all parties involved have done due diligence. I mean, we've given a lot of time. I think last month we were in here for 2 hours, primarily so that we could listen to both sides. And to think that the board has ever taken it lightly, the responsibility to take care of the park, we don't. You know, while you may agree or disagree with our decisions, you know, we know that, you know, for that matter, the Shiveleys were close friends of our family. You know, we referred to Whitey as Uncle Shively. He came to my house in a Santa Claus suit every Christmas with my grandfather. They were best friends. So all those things are very personal to each one of us in different ways. And so, you know, we appreciate everybody's willingness, even up to this point. And as Cade noted, to, you know, going forward, no matter the decision, that we continue to work together. And, you know, when I look at, you know, golf courses for that matter, you know, they change over time. They move the hole on the green, on the green, those kind of things. I mean, there are changes that are made over the course of time for a golf course, let alone, you know, in this case, a disc golf course. And so, you know, I would perceive that even going forward over the course of the future, you know, that there would be changes that you want to change it up. You want to make it a little bit different, you know, from maybe not from year to year, but every couple of years, those kind of things. You don't want it to be stagnant. And so if there are a few holes in here that we disagree with, that, you know, maybe we can move those out. But, you know, in some ways, I see this as a test for the disc golf community to see how they respond, you know, when it comes down to the respect for the property. They have moved, you know, several holes, several fairways, those kind of things. They've been more than, they could have very much so held us accountable to the votes that we've had thus far. And yet, you know, they've been willing to compromise and move, you know, at some cost and time. And we do appreciate the passion, you know, for that matter. And as a veteran, as a military retiree, you know, yeah, it's funny growing up here, you know, my first 29 years before I joined the service, being the old graybeard before I even joined, had wife and 3 kids when I joined the service. I had no idea that Memorial Park was a park for veterans, for, for military, that kind of thing. I only knew it had a name, which happened to be Memorial included in that name. And so I've gained a tremendous appreciation coming back as now a retiree and having done my time in the service and being able to be as involved as what I've been able to be with the park board. So I want to say thanks to everybody for, just the fact that you're here. The fact that we've had probably a year and a half of meetings with a half a dozen people in the crowd. Hey, you're welcome to come back to every board meeting after this is resolved. So we're just glad to have you. But I think we've, to restate, I think we've done our due diligence. And in my opinion, the disc golf folks have made the necessary compensations. And if you recall, last month, I made the recommendation to the board that we need to have an environmental advisor, to the board, so that 2 years ago, that would have been the first conversation that we would have had is what's this look like? How do we mitigate this going in? Not at the 12th hour, where we're getting ready to cut the ribbon kind of thing. So, and I think we still need to pursue that, but we want it to be a partnership. We don't want it to be contentious. Social media is great in its own aspects, but it definitely has its burdens and its downfalls. And so, yeah, that's my piece.
Ever since the park opened, there have been continuous efforts to do things at the park to bring people to the park. They put in an interurban station when the interurban existed to draw people from surrounding communities to go out there. They relocated a county road and built ponds for people to go out there. There were, some of us remember when there was a time that you could get a boat and row around. They had lights out there. Pat remembers when we used to go out there and go ice skating until the wee hours of the night. Back when it used to freeze enough. They built an 18-hole golf course adjacent to the park to draw more people. 20 shelters have been built out there to draw more people. Everything they've done at that park has been to draw more people, to appreciate the memorials, and to celebrate who we all are.
Don't know that there's much more to be said.
Not much more. Well, old business disc golf was down under old business, and we've moved it up to this point. The fact is, there is an agreement that was signed 2 years ago, over 2 years ago, to proceed with the development of the disc golf course. And that has been an ongoing process. It's stumbled here recently, but stumbling is not necessarily bad. Maybe it makes you think about your balance and where you're going. And that's what I think it has done. But we probably need to decide, do we stop or do we stumble along a little bit more? And that's all we're considering tonight. A plan has already been presented to develop the disc golf course. They've already started to develop it, and there's been some concessions made, and there can be more, hopefully. And I don't know, speaking personally, if some things don't get changed or modified as we proceed over the next couple of weeks, and we find that what they've developed is beginning to cause problems, I'll do everything I can to stop it. We started it, we can end it. So the question is, do we continue from this point, and what does that look like?
My opinion is it's a little late to stop it now. It should have been brought up a year or two ago.
So I would be curious at this point in time. I know we talked about the verbiage in the MOU as it's written currently, talking about that it's 2 years from installation, which implies, 2 years from opening. Is that something we could go back and revisit currently? Assuming that the vote is to go forward, is that something that we could go back, you'd be willing to go back to and we go ahead and make modifications, review and make edits, even as we proceed?
I don't think that's unfair, because
Yeah.
quite frankly, in the MOU as itself right now, it's kind of unclear on what that is specifically. An important part of this to me is that I just need to get a thing finalized
Yeah.
so that I can open it.
Yeah.
Because all I'm asking for at this point is a chance. We've got 16 of 18 holes done, real close to those last two being done, and I can have it open and ready August 8th.
Yeah.
At this point, like I said, I'm just looking for a chance to show everybody how good the community is as far as this
Yeah.
goes. And I can't open it to the public until I have a finalized map, so I can give it. So that's where I'm stuck, obviously. At this point, I kind of hold it to making sure I do right by you. It's my good project.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
You guys understand. So
Yeah.
that's just where I'm at with today's concern. My concern for today is like, we don't vote on agreeing to add the changes to the MOU and the map, let it proceed, let it open the course on August 8th. Like, is it just gonna keep being delayed? Like,
Sure.
the last meeting was all about the one hole there. It's like every week or every month, they're just gonna find new things to have to move. At some point, it's like, well, my state sponsors will lose faith in me.
Yeah.
The disc golf community will lose faith in me.
No, we're good.
I think you understand.
Okay.
That's
Thank
where
you.
I'm stuck in.
Yeah,
So-
thank you. So I would make a loaded motion. And it's twofold, maybe threefold. I would make a motion to allow the disc golf to proceed with the opening on the 8th, based on the accommodations that we talked about, the ropes in certain places, those kind of things. But also with the caveat that we go back and relook the bylaws and work on adding the environmental advisor to the bylaws as a integral part of the board operations. But then also, that we, in the next, between now and the next meeting, we at least initiate a review of the MOU and we go back and start and revisit some of the things we've learned and start to work and incorporate those into the MOU.
I think that's to Kate's point as well, adding some of the verbiage for.
Yes.
Make that part.
Yeah, there are several parts that we overlooked, as I indicated last month.
What Kate said.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those that weren't here last month, I did, as we talked about earlier in the meeting, I went back and forth with Chris several times, as well as with Joel Harvey, the county attorney, on the verbiage, the narrative of the MOU. And I felt bad after the fact, a year later, 2 years later, when you go back and reread it and you've got a different lens, you go, my gosh, how did I overlook this? Those kind of things. And so there are some omissions that we need to work back into that MOU to establish that relationship. So, and maybe we need to pull in, other organizations within that MOU as participants, to support the cause. So that would be my motion. You capture all that motion?
Do we understand that? Did you write that all down, Cade?
Creative discussion on the one now that it's second.
Well, it hasn't
We
been
haven't-
seconded
we
yet.
haven't
Been
no.
seconded.
I don't think there's a period of
Oh, I
discussion.
thought it was- Okay.
No.
Sorry.
I second it.
Okay. Motion is made and second. Do you have a discussion?
Are you asking?
Make an offer.
I guess.
For some of the earlier discussion, if Chris just can't work with me, I would be okay with Chris working with me. And he said if he would be willing to. And we tried that.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot, feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I have a board member.
Yeah, there's two people here. Well, it's not.
And we'll work through that.
It's not part of the motion anyway.
Right. No.
But if Chris could work better with you, then I'm okay.
We'll work through that. We'll figure that out by all means. Whatever organization is able to support from an environmental perspective. Okay.
Further discussion?
So I know I had a more expensive. But, please, whatever you do, don't. Need to take place on files. Those two are really critical holes. Potential damage. There is no way that five can play. There's no clear way around without walking across. And six, it's already been damaged. But when I walked it, I was encouraged by the resprouting of some of the purpose trees that. So it can recover, but it would need additional help. But if those two, if nothing else, those two can be moved out of the sensitive woods, that would really help my heart. Maybe I won't have a heart. But those two.
We understand.
Yeah, I think everybody.
We're going to watch them closely.
Yeah, everybody understands that.
I understand. I understand. I said, we're going to watch them closely. I understand.
Go ahead, Pat.
Okay, I have just one question. I'll make it quick. Chris named something about his echo report. He stepped out of the room when Kevin was giving his really excellent report. So, and I'm wondering, excuse me, I'm speaking. I'm wondering if the board even received as thorough a report as they did just now. I'm wondering if the board had the privilege or benefit of all that information that you just got in a few minutes, which.
Yes,
In the sense that.
we've had it for over a month or whenever you did it.
Echo report, it was never in the minutes. Who was this echo report?
Oh, no, I thought you meant Kevin's.
Ecological.
Yeah, his report, Kevin's report.
And when did you receive that?
We got this, what, in early June?
When did you send it to us, Kevin?
Before our last
June.
meeting.
Well, it's right on the front of the report.
We had it
Yeah.
before the last meeting.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
We've had the past
By
meeting.
then, the course have been set and now.
No, they've made the changes since.
They made the changes since the report.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you.
They have.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, that'd be none. Motion passes to allow the continued efforts to develop the discourse with the caveats that we brought up. So you're going to make those happen?
Is that part of the, it's okay for me to actually open the course to play on August 8th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the intended motion. But I would like to be able to, to
We're
walk
gonna
through
have-
it with
we're
you
gonna-
prior to that, to make sure that those.
That's
They're
separate
taken
from
care
the motion, of those two holes. We're going to have to look at what we're going to do about operating on those.
Yeah. So we'll schedule a date. Okay.
I
Let-
can't
let
give
me
you an
know
answer
sooner.
as to what that's going to be, but we're going to look at what we can do about those. Because we all agree.
Yeah.
I'm not against this at all.
Yeah, we understand that.
I never.
Yeah, we understand that. Thank you.
New business. Cade, you want to talk about the air conditioner? And this,
In here?
I just wanted to add real quick, the AC is out. I'm looking at two different places to get quotes from. I haven't done it yet, but the three are working pretty good. I just don't want to leave it that way for long because then it'll rely on the three others and
So help us understand. So is
Let's wait a minute, let them clear out. Noise died down. Okay, where are we, Cade, with the air conditioner?
So question for you.
Okay.
Help me understand, are there two AC units upstairs and two downstairs?
There's, so
When you say
it's on like the
four,
back part of the Smith building, there's like those 4 fans, right? Those are the AC.
you say the
units.
back side, you're talking the west
The
side.
west side.
Yes, the west
There's
side.
4 AC units over
There are
there?
4.
There's
and they
4.
all go
Okay.
towards the Smith building.
Okay, the
And
first floor, when you say the Smith building,
The second floor, all of them.
I'm sorry,
are
main
for the-
floor,
The
yeah.
second floor.
I
yeah.
know there's 2 down by the Doughboy.
Yeah,
probably
and those
support
are
the-
for the museum,
okay.
I'm pretty sure, at
Okay.
very least.
That
so-
helps. That, I was not clear that there was 4 upstairs and 2 downstairs. Okay, thank you.
I'm in the process of getting quotes. I got a quote from MRS already, but the one that you had mentioned. The one that you had mentioned too, I'm also looking into as well. So
Okay.
Are they bad? I mean,
3 of them are good. 3 of them are good. Now it did cost about $700 to actually get the 2 repaired that I couldn't repair. The one is just completely down. That one, we're gonna have to replace a part that would cost more than to actually just get a new, cost more, probably around the same amount to just get a new one. Yeah, so I'm gonna get it quoted though still. I'm gonna get quotes for that part from both MRS and, sorry, I can't remember the one that you had recommended.
Yeah, it's
but-
called JTM Mechanical.
JCM Mechanical. I'm gonna get a quote from them, see how much it would be to replace that part. And then after that, if it's just more than it would be to actually do that, I'll get quotes from both to actually replace it and also get that part, I guess is what I should say. But
Lights for the Smith building, is that the ones that are,
I had talked, yeah, I talked about it in the superintendent's
Yeah.
report. We just got.
Okay.
Lift.
Where are those at?
They literally are like on the top of the Smith building, shining down on the flags. They're out. I don't think those are the ones that you can replace the light bulb to. I think they're just like, you gotta replace them. Yeah.
well, if we do, you don't know what kind of lights they are. Are they LEDs? Not like.
LEDs. I think they're
Are they
LEDs.
LEDs and they're out?
I think so. Yeah.
Someone check to make sure there's not a circuit breaker somewhere that's.
I've already checked our boxes, so, and nothing clicked back on. And now the
There's not-
electrical,
There's not one weird switch somewhere that got turned.
there
off.
is a switch. But this is another thing, we would still need the lift for it. There's a switch right next to the light. It's literally like a light switch. So maybe that got flicked off somehow, but we can flick it back and see if it'll
Well,
work.
it's worth a try.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause there's
Or
all
replace
kinds of
them.
weird stuff out there.
I couldn't believe my eyes.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
Time hack, what's the time?
It's time. Motion to adjourn.
I make motion to adjourn.
I second it.
We're adjourned.